It is said our people lived peacefully until the men appeared from the sea, intent on making our lands their own.
Spiders Studio. Eternal almost was and also ran in an industry utterly lousy with AAA tosspots, preaching player agency between unskippable 7-hour cinematics featuring sapphic scissor sessions punctuated by poop shoots and ladders puzzles.
We're bang, okay?
In an age where even the middle markets come down with an incurable case of the 2019s, spinning their wheels in a corporate shit slick for all eternity, spiders have slowly spun their web, one underrated RPG gem at a time, crouched in wait, and braced for the fall of these odious fucking retards. Well, look around, you yawning ass canyons. The renaissance of the aughts is over. It's the tail end of the 20-teens now, where open-ended RPG sims are excoriated on Steam, while a Witcher series that never saw an RPG element and didn't want to drop a deuce on prints awards like Venezuelan currency. Because evidently all you need is a story with fewer branches than an Appalachian family tree, sword fighting and fucking to find yourself the game of the goddamn century. And don't dismiss the cross-franchise comparison there either. From a gameplay perspective, Greedfall is effectively what The Witcher would have been had CD Projekt steered into the more authored approach of The Witcher 1, which for all its faults remains the only honest-to-autism role-playing game in the series, instead of going full medieval Mass Effect and confusing fighting and fuck scenes with an actual RPG. But over many comparisons do Greedfall a disservice as well, because this, my friends, is Spiders squared, and as such, all the Spider standards are present and accounted for. Omnipresent armor and weapon customization, crafting out the cunt, and a complex if clunky combat system that makes up for in fun what it lacks in the vacuous fucking focus group sheen sported by so many of its inane contemporaries. Which isn't to suggest it's at all unfinished, whatever the goddamn galaxy brains at Polygon allege mere moments after being denied a long-term ad package. Far the fuck from it. As we all know, QA is the most important job of the industry, next to keeping Gabe Newell off of unreinforced plywood flooring. And as such, while all open world efforts inevitably sport their fair share of janky fucking nonsense, and this is certainly no exception, Greedfall is, without question, the most polished, primetime ready role-playing offering from Spiders to fucking date. In my Bound by Flame review all the way back through the diaphanous ether of 2014, I speculated at the time Spiders were 1 or 2 titles away from taking their rightful place in RPG Valhalla, and I ain't saying I'm magic, motherfucker, but I am Nostradamus! I am Nostradamus! Bippity boppity boo, bitch. And that's not to say it's been passionately locked in an amorous Biden embrace by the media. While IGN were uncharacteristically honest, GameSpot and Game Informer, who at this point wouldn't give a perfect 10 to an AIDS cure without a paid banner ad atop the upper third of their ghost town of a goddamn website, shit on it from orbit, affording it all of 5 fucking points. 1 for each of their remaining readers, I assume. Did I mention both these decaying dogshit silos gave Mass Effect Andromeda a higher score, proving in the process that you don't need standards to have double standards? I think what impresses me the most about Greedfall is the same thing that raised more red flags than a pep rally at Berkeley when Focus first revealed this shit, namely the deft avoidance of seductively simplistic anti-Columbus murder metaphors in a sword and cape colonial setting that in less talented hands might have easily degenerated into propaganda hauntus. I mean, sure, European Continentals can occasionally be cocks to the natives, but the natives, beside being more Celt than Crazy Horse, are assholes too. Knocking over caravans, killing colonialists indiscriminately, most refreshingly of all, the fucking villains in the game aren't whiter than a Martha Stewart Tupperware party, but turban-bedecked Middle Eastern motherfuckers. Phone the fucking Selective Outrage Brigade, we got wrong-think on the loose here. Best of all, you're not bottlenecked into playing some preening Politico the entirety of the game, instead offering multiple solutions, some admittedly more satisfying than others, that provide the player with variations on protagonist Desardet, from fawning courtly cunt with more charisma than testosterone, eating avocado toast while the Turbanites liquidate the locals, to unbending buckle-shoed badass laying waste to animals and apostates alike. Indeed, the latter plays like a proper RPG adaptation of Robert E. Howard's Puritan heathen slayer, Solomon Kane. If that ain't a selling point to you, your sack is in the mail. But believe it or not, you'll derive the most enjoyment from the game when you cease to be the fucking focal point, because what separates Greedfall Greedfall from one of BioWare's boredom generators is you might actually find yourself in danger of giving a fifth of a flying fuck about these characters, something Spiders has frankly excelled at since first presenting itself as the antidote to EA's actively imploding, calculatedly diverse RPG indoctrinarium, all on 1/11th the fucking budget to boot. Bizarroware, if you will. But honestly, singling EA out ain't even fair at this point. Obsidian is every bit as bad of late. Indeed, traversing the world of Greedfall with its impressively varied, often ideologically opposed cast, followed by the glorified motherfucking McDonald's commercial cluttering up your spaceship in the Outer Worlds, is like going from the geek-beaten cheerleader fucking jocks table to the petri dish of distilled virginity that is the Magic Card Kids table. Don't do it! You've got so much to fuck for! In an era where authored look means shit graphics and streamlined means shit cannon half the feature set because killing them is easier than fixing the fucking things, Spider's only true competition is with itself. And comparing the Puritan stylings of Greedfall to Cyberpunk's standout Technomancer, there truly is no comparison. Where the previous title was marked by vast, admittedly empty spaces with deeper, meaningful quests tucked away in each distant corner, Greedfall instead presents a sprawling new world wilderness teeming with incalculable quantities of side quests, many of which affect the delicate balance between the three great powers of the Tier 4D triumvirate. All the excellent qualities of Mars Warlogs and Technomancer are amplified and polished, often to a dizzying degree, inspiring a tepid take from the fuckwads at Polygon, wherein they passed wind at the very idea of the open world RPG, instead praising Outer Worlds for being shallow as shit and all of 3 seconds long, one for every compelling character trait in your fucking party. Greedfall is the finger in the face of that boomer bullshit, an unapologetically ornate open world with a wounded past yawning before the player, the ghosts of a long-dead civilization beckoning from the hinterland for the player to find his fucking fortune. It's unapologetically iterated from the likes of Dragon Age, The Witcher, and Mass Effect, but I mean it when I say there is nothing on the market quite like Greedfall, an accomplishment in and of itself in an industry allergic to originality. Don't run on by, don't bounce from plot point to plot point. Bring your mongoose on meth attention span to heal for a fucking beat. Slow down, steep yourself in the world and lore, and really craft your own character in this unique yet vaguely familiar Dark Eden, and I promise you'll enjoy untold hours of colonial era kick-ass. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.
Skins are hellish red, they're only good when dead. They're vermin, as I said, and worse. Savages, barely even human. Savages, drive them from our shore. They're not like you and me.
Thank you for standing with me. Thank you for contributing to this campaign. I know that times are tough for a lot of people right now. I know that it's not easy for folks to give $5 or $10 to our campaign, but I want you to know that I am very grateful for your strong support. We've got a big fight still ahead.